Okay, so you
That
call
is
it a
what is
mistake.
something which is very...
You call it a mistake. So I want to get in a word from Professor Kapil Kumar. Professor, I mean, what really was the truth? I mean, is there any way of finding out? Because I also find your designation very interesting. You're also director of Center for Freedom Struggle and Diaspora Studies of IGNOU. So I guess you've done a lot of research in this. Was it a mistake? I mean, could things have been different? Or were we left with no choice, that there was this whole time pressure on us and that we had to do it the way it was done?
Palviji, it was not a mistake. Let me tell you very clearly. Because facts of history can't be changed. I am sorry to say that when I hear politicians speaking on partition, I feel very sad. I feel very sad. If I start giving the facts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I would like to see how the political representatives react. Number 1, Gandhi said partition will be over my dead body. Why did he change? Aruna Asaf Ali wrote to Gandhi, whole country is against Pakistan, the people. Why don't you lead a movement against Pakistan? Gandhi says, Hindus and Muslims have joined hands on barricades. And Aruna Asaf Ali writes, they can join hands only on barricades. And they tell Badshah Ghaffar Khan, Pakistan is a reality, go and support Jinnah. That Badshah Ghaffar Khan who says, if an East Pakistan can be made, why not a West India? Or give us independence. And he spent his life in jails over there. 1. Punjab was to be divided. There was a vote to be taken for Punjab. Congress said, boycott this vote. We will not let these areas go to Pakistan. And the entire Hindu community there and Congress supporters boycotted the poll. And the entire Punjab went to Pakistan on a voting percentage of 2.5% only. Let the Congress representative check this. Then what have they say to at least minutes in which this decision is taken in May 47? Please go to the website and ask for at least minutes. What is minuted in that, in the cabinet meeting? It says, now the Congress leaders are saying independence for India can wait for 2-3 years if dominion status is given and power is transferred immediately. This has made our task easy. Now we can make a Hindu dominion and a Muslim dominion. And all those who have fooled the country for so many years that India became independent that day, India became a dominion. And I give you 3 more evidences, okay. Then I will leave to others and answer again. Number 1, King George VI, the Emperor of England, abdicated the throne of India on 22nd June 1948. Please check the London Gazette. Number 2, 1st April 1948, Nehru's letter to King George VI, I, the Prime Minister of your Indian Dominion, on behalf on your Cabinet of Indian Dominion, request you to permit us to appoint Rajgopalachari as the second Governor General of India. Okay. Number 3, after these 2, number 3, which country in the world will make the last representative of those rulers who for 170 years massacred us, tortured us as their first Governor General? Next, last I am saying, and then they can go on debating.
Please. Because I'm really running out of time. I want to.
On 15th August, the Union Jack didn't go down in Mountbatten's lodge. Okay. Mountbatten himself has written. It was. Listen, please, 1 minute. The facts are these.
I have to. If you don't mind, I'm really running out of time. I want to give the quick last words to both Anshul as well as to Aparajita. Anshul, I don't think we should rewrite history, but somewhere down the line, very quickly, because I want a word also to form Aparajita, very quickly. Anshul, do you think with this kind of a controversy, the Congress party's nationalism is being put to test once again?
No, it was never put to test. Why? Just because the BJP is insistent on putting it to test doesn't mean that it is. We don't have anything to answer for. We are the party actually when it was formed until the time of independence and beyond till now, it has worked for the service of this country. In fact, the partition, you know, I'm not going to be immodest here, was substantially due to the Congress party and its leadership who went to jail for it. The RSS has no single leader that actually went to jail for partition. And you know, this nooks and crannies of partition, partition, this letter, that letter. The partition, as I have studied, and he's wrong to presume that there are no historians and politicians cannot be historians. Perhaps you should look at, my resume. But nonetheless, I am telling you that this is an unresolvable fact about who caused it. It cannot be resolved. There are a number of theories. The only facts that I know is that at the moment, to call it a horror remembrance day is an invocation of violence. The name itself, horror, is an invocation of violence and an invitation to hatred. There is nothing commemorative about
Anshul,
horror.
I'm just going to give the last reaction to Aparajita. Aparajita, the point which Anshul is making is you want to remember it, but why do you want to call it a day of horror?
It was horror, terrible horror. Wish we had been spared of that pain of partition. Imagine, I gave the figures of death. I gave the figures of people who were displaced. And selfish interests of Congress and Muslim League led to partition. And I can say with all conviction at my command that had Nehruji and Jinnah acted sensibly and without their selfish interests in front, I think partition could have been avoided. This was something which was avoidable, but in fact these leaders, because they wanted to assume power in the respective countries, they wanted to go for partition.
Thank you. I'm really running out of time. I'm sorry to cut you short. Thank you very much, Aparajita, Anshul also, Dr. Geeta Bhatt, and also Professor Kapil Kumar. Thank you very much. Endless debate. There will be no closure to it, but tomorrow is 75th India's Independence Day. That's all we have time for. Wishing all of you a very happy Independence Day. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.